Take a second to look at the person closest to you. Whether it's a stranger on the subway, a coworker across the room, or even your own family member sitting on the couch, they look real. They blink, they breathe, they speak with an accent, they laugh at jokes, and they seem to have a lifetime of memories buried behind their eyes. But what if I told you that behind those eyes, there is absolutely nothing? What if their expressions are just pre-rendered biological animations, and their voices are nothing more than background noise generated by a universe that only exists when you are looking at it? You've had this feeling before, a fleeting, uncomfortable chill on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. The sudden, unshakable suspicion that the world is a stage, and everyone else is just an extra reading from a script. Most people laugh this feeling off. They call it a passing, intrusive thought. But that's exactly what the system wants you to do. Because the alternative, the truth, is a psychological trap from which you can never escape. Welcome to the darkest corner of human consciousness. In philosophy, there is a concept so terrifying that most thinkers refuse to dwell on it for too long. It's called solipsism. Derived from the Latin words solus, meaning alone, and ipse, meaning self, it is the philosophical position that nothing exists outside of your own mind. Think about it logically for a moment. From the day you were born, you have been trapped inside a skull. You have never actually touched a physical object. You have only processed electrical signals sent from your fingertips to your brain. You have never seen a sunset. You have only interpreted photons hitting your retina. Every single piece of data you have about the universe is secondhand information, filtered through the lens of your own isolated consciousness. This means you can easily prove that you exist. As René Descartes famously noted, "I think, therefore I am." You are aware of your thoughts, your doubts, your fears. But here is the catch, the part they don't teach you in school. You can never, under any circumstances, prove that anyone else is conscious. When your best friend tells you about their childhood, you cannot verify that those memories actually happened. When your partner tells you they love you, you cannot feel their emotion. You can only observe the chemical and physical output of their body. In the realm of philosophy, these entities are known as philosophical zombies, or P-zombies. A P-zombie behaves exactly like a human being. If you prick them, they bleed. If you insult them, they frown. If you look into their eyes, they appear to be deep, complex individuals. But inside their minds, total, absolute darkness. No inner monologue, no subjective experience, no soul. They are biological machines, perfectly engineered to convince you that you are not alone. But then, something strange happens. The suspicion usually begins with a glitch. You're driving down a highway you've traveled 1,000 times, and suddenly the oncoming traffic feels synthetic. The cars are spaced too perfectly. The drivers all look straight ahead, uniform and expressionless, like assets in a video game that haven't been fully rendered yet because your focus is elsewhere. Or maybe you walk into a grocery store late at night. The hum of the fluorescent lights is too loud. The cashier repeats the exact same phrases they said to the customer ahead of you, using the exact same inflection, the exact same hollow smile. You start to notice the patterns, the way the crowd moves in a shopping mall, not like individual souls with unique destinies, but like a school of fish reacting to an invisible algorithmic current. This is where the psychological comfort of reality begins to disintegrate. Because if everyone else is a P-zombie, it means the world isn't just indifferent to you. It means the world is entirely about you. But that isn't the worst part. If you are the only real person in existence, then every historical tragedy, every war, every plague, and every heartbreaking news story you've ever read didn't actually happen to real people. They were generated. They were fed to your consciousness to create the illusion of a grand, complex world, to give your life a sense of stakes, to keep you occupied, distracted, and above all, afraid. Think about the implications. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? A solipsist would answer, "There is no forest unless I am standing in it." The mountains, the oceans, the stars burning billions of light years away, they don't exist in perpetual reality. They are only generated the moment you turn your head to look at them, collapsing back into a void of unrendered data the second you turn away. You are a solitary mind, floating in an infinite, timeless vacuum, hallucinating a reality of brick, mortar, and human flesh just to keep the crushing horror of total isolation at bay. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. If this world is a construct created by your own mind, then who is running the script? Your conscious mind clearly doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You still get surprised, you still feel pain, you still experience heartbreak, which means there is a deeper, darker layer of your own psyche, a subconscious architect that is actively torturing you. It is designing your failures. It is constructing your losses. It is writing the scripts for the people who break your heart, all while forcing you to sit in the audience and watch your own suffering. Why would your own mind do this to you? Because the alternative is too terrifying to bear. The alternative is waking up to the truth that you are entirely, completely, profoundly alone in the dark. But this isn't really a theory about philosophy or simulations. It's about us. It's about the world we have built for ourselves in the modern age. We live in an era of hyper-isolation. We spend our days staring into glass rectangles, interacting with text on a screen, viewing curated avatars of people we will never meet. Algorithmically, your digital world is designed entirely for you. Your feed is a reflection of your fears, your biases, your desires. It feeds you content to keep your specific consciousness engaged. In a very real sense, the internet has turned us all into practical solipsists. When you argue with someone on social media, do you view them as a complex human being with a soul, or do you view them as an obstacle, an NPC, a prompt designed to trigger an emotional response from you? We have become the main characters of our own digital prisons, surrounded by millions of profiles that might as well be pea-zombies. We are more connected than any generation in human history, yet we feel more detached from reality than ever before. The terrifying truth isn't that the universe is a simulation. The terrifying truth is that modern life has made it entirely reasonable to feel like it is. We have engineered a society that mimics the symptoms of a psychological disorder. We walk through crowded cities, shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people, completely locked inside our own heads, wearing noise-canceling headphones, projecting our own narratives onto a world that feels increasingly hollow, flat, and artificial. We are starving for genuine connection, yet we treat the people around us like background noise. So where does that leave you? You will finish this video and you will close the app. You will look down at your hands and you will feel the physical reality of your own skin. Then you will look across the room or out the window at the people passing by. You will try to tell yourself that this was just an entertaining video, just an interesting thought experiment designed to spark a bit of dark curiosity. But a small, quiet part of your mind will never fully believe that again. Every time someone gives you a look that lingers just a second too long, every time a stranger says something that feels unnervingly relevant to your private thoughts, and every time the world feels a little too quiet, a little too hollow, a little too perfect, you will remember this moment. You will wonder if the universe is finally getting tired of keeping up the charade. But perhaps the most unsettling thought of all is this: if you truly are the only real mind in existence, then I don't exist either. Which means this script wasn't written by a stranger on the internet. It was written by your own subconscious mind, desperately using my voice to drop a hint, trying to see if you are finally ready to wake up. So, are you?